Happy Monday, everyone. Game of Thrones dropped a bunch of new teasers, so let's break it down. There's a new round of the giveaway. It's for the enhanced editions of the books. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Let's start with the biggest stuff first. Look how big Drogon has gotten. It's almost like Daenerys is riding on the back of a giant flying house. Within the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, there's no limit to the size the dragons can grow. They're only limited by their food source and their ability to roam around. That's why Drogon's so much bigger than Rhaegal and Viserion, because they were kept in captivity for more than an entire season. Now that they're out, they'll start growing again, but Drogon will always be the biggest. The way they talked about it from a production standpoint is that the dragons are now as big as 747 jumbo jets. So I think they were mostly talking about Drogon. The other dragons were really big, but what they're teasing here in this scene, and this is actually like a screen cap from season 7, so this is an actual scene that we'll be watching with all these soldiers burning in the background, looks like it's a play on the Field of Fire, which was an engagement during the War of Conquest where Aegon the Conqueror took his dragons, Balerion the Black Dread, Meraxes, and Vhagar, and fought the Gardener and Lannister combined armies. They had massive forces ready to rally against Aegon. When Aegon joined the battle, instead of sending his troops in the way you saw during the Battle of the Bastards with, two armies clashing against each other, he flew the dragons and they burned the field. That's why they call it the Field of Fire. They instantly killed 4,000 of the Lannister and Gardener troops. Then after the dragons had done their work, Aegon sent his troops in and they killed another 10,000 of their forces. So that was the end of House Gardener. They literally wiped them off the map. House Tyrell, which was one of the cadet branches of House Gardener, was then raised up because they bent the knee and they became Lords of the Reach hereafter. So it was one of the most spectacular, visually stunning battles of Aegon's conquest. It involved all 3 dragons, and that's what they're teasing here. So obviously Daenerys is moving against Cersei's forces. You can't really pick out the banners that they're wearing on their clothing, so you don't know which troops exactly these are, but it just implies it's one of the big battles in her engagement against Cersei. And it looks like this is relatively flat plain, so this isn't happening down near Dorne, but it's a little hard to tell just because the ground has been raised. But I love the idea that they're going to do a repeat of the Field of Fire, or at least the battle will be inspired by that from the books. But then pretty much all the other previews are just from stuff that's up in the north near Winterfell, with the exception of Arya. Unconfirmed, but it looks like she's very close, if not at Winterfell. I think they purposefully didn't shoot the ground that this horse was standing on, or any of the banners that are on this wall here, just so you couldn't confirm that she was entering Winterfell. But I think that everybody would be flipping out if she were actually there. Let me know if you think that this is actually like the opposite end of the kingdom and this is in King's Landing. This is a good example of the stonework at Winterfell, so it looks like she's not there. It looks like she's somewhere with really high walls, so King's Landing is a big possibility. Let me know in the comments, where do you think she is here? She could still be leaving the Twins. That was the last place she was, taking care of Walder Frey. But most of the northern architecture just looks a little bit different. All the stonework, like even the Twins here, this is what it looks like. So it doesn't look like that's where she's at. And I think they just want to withhold that till we get to the next trailer. But I have a feeling that when she shows up, there will be a lot more to confirm where exactly she is in Westeros, just slowly making her way north. We see Jon Snow in the courtyard at Winterfell, looking like he's getting ready to head out. There doesn't seem to be any particular urgency about any of the scenes, but it does seem like the other behind-the-scenes images, like you see Sansa standing up here, which is a behind-the-scenes version of this scene right here, with her just looking down on what's going on around the courtyard, is them getting ready to move out. It looks like Jon Snow is either dealing with the politics of the North and the wildlings, the things that are happening around Winterfell, or he's literally getting ready to go to Dragonstone to treat with Daenerys, and Sansa's getting ready to see him off. But she just seems so casual with Littlefinger about this, weighing what's happening and what's going on in the north, that it doesn't seem like things have gotten too urgent yet. Otherwise, she would probably be on the ground giving him a hug as he went away. But I just posted that video about some of the politics that are going on up in the north and the problems that they're experiencing, in addition to the White Walkers, because that's only a small piece of the puzzle, even though that's what most of our attention's focused on. We get another shot of Tormund Giantsbane, Brienne hanging out in the background, and there's another behind the scenes of Brienne just sort of being funny, walking around the battlements at Winterfell. It sounds like she's going to stick pretty close to Sansa, but I'm hoping that if they go on any expeditions up to the north in the Wall that Brienne gets to go to, she has Oathkeeper, the Valyrian blade, so she would come in very handy in a White Walker fight. But the thing is that she's pledged her loyalty to Sansa to protect her, so the only way that she would leave her side is if Sansa ordered her to, if she told her to go somewhere on some mission to do something. So the other really big thing that just happened, you guys may have noticed this, is that HBO took down their trailer, the Long Walk one that they released a while ago, in anticipation of a new trailer they're getting ready to post. Now, I think it's weird that they took down the old trailer just because they're getting ready to post a new one, but they've done that in the past, and a lot of it just has to do with music licensing, like if there's a song that they didn't get permission to use or something weird happens with a dispute, they have to post a different version. They did that a couple seasons ago. It was the weirdest thing ever, but whatever, who cares? New Game of Thrones footage is new Game of Thrones footage. So what I think is happening is that because they're dropping this today, it's probably providing a preview of some of the things that we're going to see in the next trailer in the next couple days, if not the next week. So typically HBO makes really weird moves and things start shifting behind the scenes right before a big reveal. So do not be surprised if sometime this week we get an actual trailer. In that last one we got really wasn't even that much of a trailer. It was more of a promo with a pop song on it. The idea here is that none of these scenes actually really happened during Season 7. They just imply things that are going to be happening. Daenerys sitting on the throne here at Dragonstone is probably something we'll see, but it probably won't happen like this. So the promo images that they've released, those are actual screen grabs from scenes, but the Long Walk promo is just something to hype up what's coming. It's not really stuff taken from scenes that they've shot. It's just something special that they made to promote the season. But everybody just start freaking out and let me know, just because there's only 7 episodes and they typically include footage from all the way through the season, let me know if you think that they're going to withhold anything from the last couple of episodes, because there was stuff that almost went all the way up to episode 10 in that season 6 trailer last year. But whatever happens, whenever it posts, I will totally do a video for it. What's going to happen next is there's a bunch of finales. Obviously, if a trailer drops tomorrow morning, that will be the next video I do. So congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Alex Martinez. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. While you wait for everything, you can click here for my new preview of what's going on with House Stark, and you can click here for all the other Season 7 trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.